You should start getting more exercise. You could join a gym. You would work out more if you just knew what to do.
All of those would'ves, should'ves, could'ves are probably the same story you've been telling yourself for years. And they all end the same way, with you actually doing nothing, or at best, not enough to get to where you want to go.
This week, we hope to write a new ending to that story with our guest. He is the creator of the best-selling fitness series P90X, and more recently, The Power of Four. Tony Horton joins us to help you and I get off our butts and actually work toward our fitness goals.
This is The Fit Mess, conversations with world-class experts in the fields of mental, physical, and emotional health. In this episode,
stop doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result. Thank you, Albert Einstein. It's true.
Right.
And people let change is hard. Like, it's hard. Well, I got a job, and I got kids, and I got stress. I have traffic, and I have bills, and then I have a pandemic, and now you want me to work out 5 to 7 days a week and eat vegetables? Are you out of your mind? Well, then stay miserable, my friend.
Now here are your hosts, Zach and Jeremy.
Welcome to The Fit Mess, brought to you by Athletic Greens. Thanks for listening while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing right now. I'm Zach. He's Jeremy. We've been through all kinds of struggles and ended up stronger because of them, and we want to help you do the same. If you're sick of your own shit and you're ready to make a change, you're in the right place.
It is amazing how, when properly motivated, we can suddenly find the will and a way to take action on the things we say we want to do. This episode is a shining example of that. Zach, for months, you have told me to go to the gym. I've had 100 reasons not to go. I tried going. I hated it. And I quit. But when I knew that we were going to be talking to the world-famous creator of P90X, I had a reason to try again. So now, well over a month later, I haven't missed a workout. I feel great. And I'm creating my own motivation to keep going. And that is spilling over to other areas of my life.
I really, really want to say I told you so. And I really, really want to rub it in your face.
You really, really should. I have it coming.
I really want to, but instead I'm going to say congratulations. That's amazing.
Way to take the high road. Come on. I served you up a softball. You could have just completely smacked me down for that.
I could have, but you know what? We're all about motivating people, not bringing them down.
That's true. That's true. I've got to say, I think so much of it, and we'll get into this in the interview in just a little bit, but so much of it is just having a plan. Because when I go into the gym now, and I know you talk about this with your CrossFit experience, going in and not having to think about it, right? Just doing what you're told makes it so much easier. I've been doing the P90X 3 for about 5 or 6 weeks now. And just the fact that I can just mindlessly go in and go, yes, Tony, tell me what to do. How high should I jump? It just fixed it. Because the one day that I went in, I was like, I don't know what to do. I read that you lift some heavy stuff and then you kind of run around and junk. And I just was like, this sucks. This isn't fun. This is boring. It's hard. I don't even know that this is going to work. Like, I had no direction and no plan. But having that plan and having that direction just makes all the difference in the world.
And that's why I always say, get a coach, whether it's on demand through like Beachbody On Demand or an in-person coach. That's how I've been successful. If I have to put together the plan myself, I'm not a fitness expert. I don't know how to do these things correctly without hurting myself. God knows I was corrected at the gym this morning for something, and yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. So, I mean, it is really important to have somebody there just telling you what you need to do, because our own motivation, like, we have just enough to get us to the gym.
Yep.
Then you add on like planning what it is and planning the whole week and the whole month and what you're going to do. Forget it. No one's going to do that.
Especially not having the knowledge of what's worth my effort, right? If you just go in blind and you lift a bunch of different stuff, it might work, but who knows? Why not rely on someone else who's done the research, that's done the homework, that probably has a team of experts that know how to put a workout together to actually make you reach the goal you're trying to reach.
Yeah. And there's accountability to it as well, right? There's that external motivation, right? I mean, I know if I hit the button and signed up to be at a class at the gym, I'm going to be there because I hit the button. Of course, the other day I slept right through my alarm and I missed it, but my intentions were good.
That's right.
So there's the accountability bit. There's the professional there who knows what they're doing, can help you along the way. And again, even if it's a video series, like, they give good cues. And if you just have a mirror in front of you, you can figure it out.
It's amazing too, just doing it and having the voice in your head, and when you're doing the workout, and they're like, get down another inch, and I can tell. Oh yeah, I'm not up. It's weird how they can tell, right? They know what people at home are doing, and they can guide you through that. And the
Kind
mirror,
of like it's kind of like they've been doing it for a while.
yeah, maybe they
Almost.
maybe they know a thing or two. And that's the most annoying part about this is, I've been paying for this Beachbody app for like, I don't know, 3 years. And I've done now collectively 3 programs. So, I mean, I'm getting my money's worth, but all the work that I've lost and all the money, it could have been so much more worth the few dollars that it costs for the year.
That's okay. Don't focus on that though. Just think about getting the value in the future.
Exactly.
So again, I really want to say I told you so, but I'm just proud of you for doing what you're doing. But I also want to remind you that the physical exercise is not the only piece to this. Remember, there's multiple parts to being healthy, fit. And as our guest, Tony Horton, I'm like geeking out, so excited we got to talk to him.
Totally.
Is going to remind us like nutrition is part of this. That's part of why I take Athletic Greens. I started taking Athletic Greens because I really needed to have a supplement that tasted great, gave me all the things that I needed. And I didn't want to have to take 10 pills a day or spend all of my time cooking all the meals. I try and get my nutrients from food, but let's face it, we don't get everything we need every day from food. So Athletic Greens was a great solution for me. It tastes great, gives me everything I need for more energy, better gut health, optimized immune system. It has less than a gram of sugar, and there's no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, and it actually does taste good. And for what you get, it's less than $3 a day. And right now is the time to incorporate better health, and Athletic Greens is a perfect start. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/fitmess. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/fitmess to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. That link will be on the show notes, and it's plastered all over our website at thefitmess.com.
All right. Well, this is a big deal for us. We get to share this interview that we did with Tony Horton just a couple of weeks ago. Super fun. In preparation for talking with the now 63-year-old Tony Horton, who could kick both of our asses, I found everyone kept saying how great he looks for his age. So I started by asking him about how that lands when he hears that.
We're so caught up on our appearance, which is normal. That's humans, right? We don't want to look bad. We want to be trim and look younger than we are. But ultimately, it's not like I don't get a facial occasionally, just to sort of upgrade things. But I mean, really, what matters, who you are as a human being is really on the inside. How is your brain functioning, and how's your body functioning? And are you able to live the life that you want to live? And hopefully you're living a big enough life so that you're able to do things physically that are kind of interesting, and like riding your bike, or I'm skiing here in Jackson Hole. And I mean, as a 63-year-old, I feel as strong on the mountain as I've ever felt based on my behavior of the last 4 months has been pretty intense. Just kind of turned it up a notch. And I've got a good crew of people that I hang with that want to charge like I want to charge. And they're all younger than I am, which helps. And so they keep me young.
Nice.
And, I developed a program, called The Power of Four. It's something that I developed outside of Beachbody, which is basically duplicating what I do and trying to transcend that to other people who want to participate in it. It's just the basic things that, to me, I've been doing forever and ever, and it feels like common sense to me. Just taking the right, supplements, eating the healthiest foods I can eat, exercising 5 to 7 days a week, and finding some time to meditate and find some mindfulness in my life so I can let the pendulum swing the other way once in a while. And most people, their only form of mindfulness is a crappy night of sleep. You know what I mean? And then, their cortisol levels are through the roof, their adrenal glands are burned, and they look in the mirror and they go, why do I look like crap? I feel like crap. It might have been a 6-pack of beer the night before while you're watching your team lose. So, to me, it's basic. I've been doing it forever, and I don't see myself ever changing.
So how long did that take you? I know for me, we talk about some of the common things that we do that are basic and how that helps somebody who it's not basic for. Is that something that clicked right away for you, that like, hey, I need to deliver more of this to people and educate them? Or did it take you a little while to like realize that the basic things for you aren't always basic things for everyone else? Yeah,
it took me a while. It really did. It took me decades, and I'm still perfecting it. I don't think there's any sort of final answer on what to do. Things are evolving. There's new concepts and ideas and techniques and methods and philosophies and blah, blah, blah. And you read more and you learn more and you talk to smart people and you go, oh, okay, well, maybe that was working for me back then. You know what I mean? I think we should always be evolving. I'm always trying to evolve. I'm in the game of pursuing joy and happiness, you know, and whatever that takes. That's sort of the bottom line for me. And so my behavior is certainly part of it. My physical, mental, and emotional state is a result of my environment, my behavior, and my genetics, right? So these are things that I can control. I mean, people are like, oh, my genetics are my genetics. You know, Jack LaLanne lived twice as long as his dad. You know, his dad had same genetics Jack did. He just changed his environment and his behavior, you know, and I'm trying to do the same thing. You know, not that I plan on living to be 108, or am I? But yeah. So it took a while. And so when you're trying to inspire people, it's really about the way you communicate, the way you disseminate your intel to folks. And right when we're done, I'm going to be doing this live thing on Instagram about getting out of your own way. You know, so often we're blaming, we're finger pointing, you know what I mean? There's, you know, you're blaming your parents and your genetics and your friends and your blah, blah, blah. And when in reality, the bottom line is the buck stops with you. You know what I mean? So you just get out of your own damn way. And what does that require? And I think a lot of people live unfortunately, what gets in people's way is they live in a fantasy world. There's reality, which is the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And then there's your kind of your misguided version of it because this is too hard, but this makes me happy, but I'm overweight and I'm miserable, but you know what I mean? So it's really distinguishing between those things, like getting your mind right and buckling down and finding out, you know, what you really have to do. And that's hard. Transformation, change, the switch. I call it the switch, going from the kind of the person you are to the person you are now. And that requires time. It took me time. It's going to take you time. So, you know, be the tortoise, not the hare. You don't go from first grade to grad school. There's a bunch of stuff in between, and you got to be willing to put in the time and energy and effort to get there. You know, the switch is a bitch. It just is. If you think this thing's going to happen overnight, well, then you're misguided and you're going to fail. So that's why what I do is to try to tell people, hey man, hang in there with me. Here's the plan. You know, here's the ways you can modify. You don't have to be perfect every day. Don't be attached to the outcome. The past is history. The future's a mystery. Just be in the moment. You know what I mean? My workout in the gym the other day was pretty lame. But I was in the gym, and that's all that really mattered. And I did as best I could without, you know, breaking my arm. You know what I mean? It's a long-winded answer.
That's okay. That's okay. Zach and I have been talking for months. I moved to this community that I live in 6 months ago, and there's a free gym here that is a 5-minute walk away. And I've been putting off going. The one time I went, I hated it, right? I went in with no plan, didn't know what to do. It's this is going to suck. I'm going to hate this. And then when I knew I was going to be talking to you, I went, well, I better at least try this thing out before I talk to this guy because I'm going to sound like an idiot. So I've been putting off going to the gym for literally months and doing the mental gymnastics of, I don't know, I can't get out of my own way. But you inspired me just by agreeing to talk to us to get over there and start doing your workout, which I love, by the way. It's been a really great experience.
What workout? Are you doing the Power 4 stuff?
Oh, no, I'm doing the X3, the P90X3. Heard of it. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And I've been enjoying it. And it's so funny because I do feel better after doing it. I mean, just immediately, just moving my body, the nature of just moving your body, you feel better. But that is such a hard thing to communicate to that person who hasn't made the switch, who doesn't have the opportunity to talk to you as motivation to turn on the video and go do it. So how do you convince someone that it's worth it? How do you convince them to get off the couch and make that switch?
Well, I'm going to speak directly to you, Jeremy.
Good.
And here's what you,
because I am talking to me, but
not doing.
Yeah.
Your purpose sucks.
Yeah.
You don't have a purpose. You don't have a reason why that's substantial enough for you to be consistent. You said it just a few minutes ago. You feel great as a result of doing the workout. So, I mean, how many days a week do you want to feel great? How many days a week do you want to feel guilty and lame? You know what I mean? And so to be consistent, you need a plan. So get your purpose in line. I'm going to feel good today if I exercise today without making, who cares how much I bench? Who cares how much I squat? Who cares how perfect my abs look at the end of the one workout? I mean, all that stuff is just arbitrary baloney, right? So you want to get rid of that. So your purpose should be, I want to feel good. I want to have more energy. I want to have more enthusiasm for life. I want my brain to function better because when I exercise, I release norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, brain-derived neurotropic factor inside my temporal lobe, inside my hippocampus. Your whole life, everything about who you are as a human being, physically, mentally, and emotionally, comes from inside the center of your brain called the hippocampus. Now, a lot of people use drugs and alcohol and porn and whatever the hell else they use to try to temporarily stimulate that part of the brain. But in general, those sort of short-term attempts lead to long-term problems. So you want to have some sort of short-term discipline and exercise and food discipline for a lifetime of feeling really well, right? So the goal here ultimately, man, is just to figure out what your purpose is that's so substantial. This is the bottom line. It's priority one. It's the foundation of who I am. Everything else is ancillary. Everything else is numbers is B, C, D, F. It's not A. It's not one. That's who you are. Boom, figure. Because you understand that who you are as a 63-year-old could turn out better than maybe your parents or grandparents did.
Yeah.
Number two is your plan. What time are you going to work out? What workout is it? And know that 30 days in advance. You just get your calendar, man. Okay. Like for me, on Mondays, it's cardio. Boom. I got guys coming over. On Tuesdays is shoulders and arms. Wednesday is plyo. Thursday is chest and back. Friday is balls and boxes. Saturday is yoga. Sunday is the 4-hour ninja course. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Now I schedule 7 workouts. I usually miss 1, sometimes 2, but I always get my 5. Yeah. And don't forget about 3 days a week. Throw yourself down a set of stairs. It's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because 4 days off are going to go, F you, buddy, because it's going to kick the crap out of the 3 days on. It's just, it's just futile, right? Like, I'm going to breathe 3 days this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat 3 days a week. I'm going to sleep 3 nights this week. I'm going to go to work 3 nights this week. I'm going to pay my bills once every 3 months. Right. There's all this stuff that we naturally do. We don't question it. Uh-huh. And all we get is survival. Yeah. That's all we get. We get survival on Earth. What is that? Like a C- life?
Right.
No, if you want an AA plus, you got to show up all the time. So you got your purpose, you got your plan. Now how are you going to stay accountable? Mm-hmm. Well, you got, I'm looking at Zach there. You and Zach, hey man, that's it. You and I, next 30 days, if I don't show up, you get to, burn down my house. I don't know what the heck it is,
right?
But you get your tribe, man. You are the company that you keep.
Yeah.
If both of you guys, if your best 10 friends were all ice climbers, you'd be really good at ice climbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're 10 friends with people like, hey man, it's 2022. The last couple of years have been crap. Let's just buckle down, find some warriors. I have like 25 people in my quiver of friends, and I'm always emailing and texting and calling. You showing up? You're going to be here, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's purpose, plan, and accountability through having the right kind of people in your life. Yeah. And if you can't get it done, then you're supposed to be an overweight, miserable son of a bitch. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you can kind of dabble in all the other temporary, ephemeral means in which to, lose a few pounds in 2 months so you can look halfway decent at a wedding that nobody cares about. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like this, excuse my first time I'm going to swear, this shit is real. And you have to get realistic about it if you really want to make dramatic change and you want it to stick. Mm-hmm. It's got to stick. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there you go.
So on the flip side of it, so I've got my purpose very well dialed in. I know what I want in life, which leads me to I am at the gym or the yoga studio 7 days a week. And like you, I miss a day here and there. So I've been giving Jeremy a lot of crap lately of just go. But I know, what are we going to do with him? But for me, like this was a process for me because 20 years ago, I was about 100 pounds heavier, eating McDonald's every day, no exercise. And it was a long road. And there was a lot of habits that I had to put together. And now I get asked, hey, what's the one thing you did? And there's never one thing. Like it's all these little things, but a little something about all those little things that somebody has to do and how you can put those habits together. Could you talk a little bit about how you go from, like you said earlier, preschool to grad school? What's that look like? What does somebody have to do to navigate that?
What's the one thing you did to graduate from high school? Well, there's no answer for that, right? And it's the same thing for that. I think it becomes overwhelming for some people because it's not a priority. If it was a priority, if it went from sort of like 10th on the list to first on the list, and you were willing to put some energy into figuring it out, then it would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17, 25 things that you would do. And those 25 things initially, they seem incredibly overwhelming, right? Because it's 25 things. But you're the tortoise and you get it. And your job is just to show up and be in the moment, do the best you can and listen, right? Pay attention see what resonates, see what doesn't. If everybody else is going to CrossFit and you don't want to go to CrossFit, then don't go to CrossFit. Like if yoga is like, everybody's doing the yoga and you don't want to, then, there's two kinds of love. You have to kind of have a general passion for what it is that you're doing. And maybe a lot of people haven't found it yet. I mean, Peloton is interesting, but it's the same damn thing every day. It's like you're out of the seat, you're in the seat, going faster, somebody's yelling at you. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But the reason why I've created what I've created, and all you have to do is just show up and look at me on the screen, and you don't have to try to match what I'm doing or what anybody else is doing. But I try to create programs and formulas that avoid boredom, injuries, and plateaus. You notice everything I say is in threes, makes it really easy, right? So it's boredom, injury, and plateaus that keep people from, and a lack of a plan, purpose, and accountability. There's another three, right? But these are like, I just told you that. Do you have to get into a spacesuit and go to Mars and back and figure? No, it's like, these are three things you understand. Here are three more things that you understand. Do them or don't. You know what I mean? Like, right? And then find some company, right? And keep consuming new information. Like diet. Diet is a nightmare for people. Keto, paleo, vegetarian, pescatarian, vegan. What do I do? I got blood work. I went to an expert. I got the blood, and they said, "Hey, you got leaky gut and possibly leaky brain." No, what does that mean?
Seriously?
Yeah. So leaky gut, leaky brain. It's just enzymes and chemicals and things. Leaky gut is something where it's inflammation inside your digestive system, inside your body. So that means like when you're eating the food, it doesn't all exit out of the back end. It starts coming out because your intestines are very porous. They're not like metal pipes going through your body. So fecal matter leaks out, gets into the bloodstream, goes into all kinds of other places in your organs and heart and lungs. And you can't figure out why, I don't have knee pain anymore. Why? I don't have shoulder pain anymore. Why? You should get surgery, or you need to have injections in your knees. I just eat plants and I don't have those problems anymore. I can go to the gym. I pounded myself, even though I wasn't very strong. I'm not even sore. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's partly because of the formulas that I created with my supplement line too. That helps as well. And these are just, if it's interesting to you and you want to get healthy and you're willing to see that there's the bullshit version that you've tried, like, if you wake up in the morning and you have tons of energy and you have no pain and you're not tired and you rock through the day, you're doing everything right. If you don't, three more things? Crazy. If you don't have those three things, then you need to make changes. Stop doing the same things over and over to get expecting a different result. Thank you, Albert Einstein. It's true.
Right.
And people, change is hard. Like, it's hard. Well, I got a job and I got kids and I got stress. I have traffic and I have bills and I have a pandemic, and now you want me to work out 5 to 7 days a week and eat vegetables? Are you out of your mind? Well, then stay miserable, my friend. You know what I mean? But the switch is a bitch, right? There's going to be that period. But I got a little expression that says, do your best and forget the rest. Yeah. Do your best. And just, what's your best today? Your best today might be horrible, but it's certainly better than doing nothing. Right? It's always better than doing nothing.
Absolutely.
And 10 minutes, I had a program called 10-Minute Trainer. My cousin would do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, and stopped eating so much cheese. And got off the hooch. All right. So she got off the hooch, got off the cheese, worked out 20 minutes separately, and she lost 45 pounds. I can't believe this is working. Yeah, because it's 1,000 times more than you were doing before, which was 0. So, you don't sign up for a marathon the first time. You sign up for a 3K. You know what I mean? And then you progress. It's all about progression too.
Totally. You mentioned your supplements. We wanted to find out more about that. Tell us about the supplement line. Yes.
Well, who's listening? Let me tell you. I got sick in 2017. I got miserably ill with Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which is shingles in your ear. And if you got shingles in your ear, it goes into your brain. And there's nerves that go from your ear to your brain. And it affected my vision and my smell and my taste and my balance. So I couldn't drive, I couldn't work out, I couldn't get out of bed. I spent most of the day in excruciating pain. I got Bell's palsy, which was really hot. It was a great look for me. And I threw up all day. So, I was really, really rough. And then when I was coming out of that very, very slowly, about a 3-month process, I was into all the King's horses and all the King's men, and I just couldn't put Tony back together again, you know what I mean? So, all the tinctures and the acupuncture and and then getting me out of the house and in the car. And every time like a car would make a turn, honey, I got to roll in the window. It was brutal. So I met with some smart people. I got very fortunate. I think there was a lot of serendipity, a lot of kismet, and these folks that I met. This guy, Will Valilla, That's 6 L's, by the way. A lot of L's.
Wow.
But he's a nutrition scientist. I mean, he knows inside and out. He said, hey, have you ever heard about HMB and how it reacts to vitamin D? There's all these great studies out of the NIH that are talking about that. Maybe, you can get your weight back on. Okay. And then like your leaky gut, let's come up with like some really high quality formula, fiber, prebiotics, probiotics, 2 servings of vegetables. It's like this super pack of food. And then I talked to my nutritionist too about diet, and I tried veganism twice and failed miserably. I got all gaunt and sad, and because I was eating too many vegan crackers, and not enough plants. So I got hooked up with Fire Road. Fire Road is a plant-based home delivery food service, which, I get my 2 shakes in the morning. Shake in the morning, shake in the late afternoon, and meals in between. And I can maintain my 172 pounds. And I feel amazing. I don't have any inflammation whatsoever. It's called Power Life. If people are interested, there's plant-based protein, whey protein, because, our cows are straight out of Ireland. They're up there with their Irish accent, are hanging out with leprechauns, eating their grass, and then we would get their whey from them. And no Lucky Charms, just the whey. It's fantastic up there. And so the plant-based, a lot of seeds, a lot of nuts, a lot of mung beans. You can't get enough mung beans, sunflower seeds, and all that kind of stuff. Vegan. That's what this little green monster is. Isn't that beautiful? So mypowerlife.com. If you want the discount, this is only for you guys. It's Tony 30 at mypowerlife.com. Don't pay full pop. Pay the Tony 30 discount code. And this stuff saves my life, man. I mean, a lot of it did. Getting back to fitness, going vegan properly. Without the shakes, I'd weigh about 118 pounds. So it's just, getting those extra and high quality protein, the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, and the supplements are important. A lot of people are like, I don't need supplements. I never have. I'm not a supplement guy. It's a waste of money. You just pee it out. Okay, well, great. Talk to any high school, collegiate, Olympic, or professional athlete who's busting their ass 5 to 7 days a week, not taking supplements. Now, there's no such human being that I'm aware of. I haven't met him yet. So, if you're a monk on a mountain with organic vegetables and chickens and pigs and things, and you sit there and you all day, you don't need the supplements because you live in a place that doesn't exist. You're not a person that's real. But the rest of us, you've been out there, it's crazy out there. And if you have kids and you have a job and you got a boss and you got a wife who's, or a husband that's, and family and coworkers and, you're just trying to, and that's what the mindfulness part of the Power of 4 is. The mindfulness is, when I was in the process of developing my supplements and everything else, I read a book by Full Catastrophic Living by John Kabat-Zinn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Man, all 9,700 pages of that.
Jeez, yeah.
Also, David Nestor's Breath. I don't know if you guys read that yet.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, yeah, man, fantastic. 5.5 breathing, body scan meditation. Just, and you can do it in the car. You can do it on the job. You can do it anywhere you want. You do it while having breakfast. You know what I mean? Anything that takes your mind away from, and like I tell people, I don't know, meditation, I'm a Christian. I go, well, come on, man. Just yoga is a moving meditation, simple moving, right? You can do the Ujjayi breath. You don't have to, but walking your dog, listening to music, dancing, in your boxer shorts, whatever it is, reading. These are all mindfulness. I talk to people. When was the last time you were in a bathtub? I'm not in a bathtub since I was 5. Well, then why? Do you own one? Yeah. Well, then store socks in there, plant a tree, because that's what that thing's for. They're in almost every house in the country, in the world. Get in the tub, pour in the 2 cups of Epsom salt, and shut up and play music. Wow, it's a double whammy. And these things, they're simple stuff. And this new program is we had 2,500 people in the beta group, and usually like P90X had like a 12% success rate because it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Eat these foods, do these exercises. See ya. Right? We're trying to do more than that. I mean, it was an amazing program. 11 million copies. I believe 4 million of those 11 were pirated. Good luck. I used to go, I've been to 62 military bases around the world, and I used to go to the Pentagon and do workouts there and stuff. And I used to go to the congressional gym and train some of those clowns. And they're all pulling out like pirated copies. Excuse me, Senator, I'm going to have to arrest you because this is Don't you have laws against this? Didn't you pass a law?
Someone should do something about this.
Sign doesn't happen. Okay, whatever, man. So, que sera. But what the power of 4 is nutrition, exercise, supplementation, and mindfulness, man. And just, and live events. And I did a session the other day for our, we have base program, premium program, and VIP platinum program. And people they've been stuck. They've always been stuck. And so we're trying to give people multiple options. We're trying to basically give them in 90 days, everything that we've been talking about, right? Access to me, access to 2-time Olympian Tasha Danvers, access to Jessie Graff, who's, the first woman ever she's on our team, which is like,
wow,
she's cooler than me. I mean,
that's awesome.
So yeah,
That's awesome. I have a question for you that I talked to people about it, and I just want to hear your take on it, because I've done a lot of your programs, and you have a couple of workout programs.
Zach, you helped me buy this joint. Thank you, dude.
Nice.
Get on the power of 4. I got bills to pay, buddy. Come on.
I will get right on that.
All right.
But my question for you is, I go to the gym and I lift weights and I do cardio. Like I like the weightlifting aspect. I also like the cardio aspect. But what do you say to the people who are, again, going back to what's the one thing I can do? The people who are just doing cardio, they're not lifting weights. I would love to hear your take on your new program and whether lifting weights is a good thing or a bad thing for you.
Well, it depends on how you're lifting the weights, how many repetitions you're doing, how much weight you're lifting. Is your ego involved when it comes to doing this process? Form and function is priority 1. It should be. And if you haven't done it in a while, then you got to go, okay, well, whatever memories you have of your glory days, you're going to have to, bury those for a second if you want to get through the process. If you look at the power of 4 has everything. There's 2 martial arts routines. There's 3 separate ab routines. There's chest and back. There's chest and back recharge. There's triple trouble challenge. If you have P90X3, you know what the challenge is. In the challenge, you go back and forth between pull-ups and push-ups, and you have to, guesstimate the exact number. It has to be the same from beginning to end. Well, triple trouble challenge, it's all body weight, man. There's, we'll get into the weights in a second. It's 3 sets of push-ups in a row, 3 sets of pull-ups in a row, and those numbers have to be the same. So you better choose wisely. All right. It's just, that's how you like I would say, you got to shock the body. You got to shock it. You got to shock it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not doing Arnold.
That might be the first impression injury I've ever witnessed. That was.
I know.
Cool.
I know. Arnold's hands back here. It's fantastic. It's incredible. It's amazing. You got to shock it, right? So, and chest and back recharge is sometimes body weight, sometimes using dumbbells, sometimes using extra little accoutrement like med balls and stability balls. There's a routine called primal flow, which is, it's animal flow. If you don't know, it makes yoga look like napping. Okay. Boredom, injuries, plateaus, right? We want to make sure that we work on our weaknesses as much as our strengths. Now, the one thing I would say to you, Zach, you like the weights, you like the cardio, you come to my house on a Sunday and get on my ninja course, you will be destroyed. You'll be destroyed because it's grip strength and lock off strength. And, we climb ropes upside down, 20-foot ropes upside down. We'll climb 20-foot ropes in an L and do maximum levers, which is a skill that took me 4 months to learn how to do a rep. And then we come back down the rope. Oh, I'm sorry, no feet on the rope, not allowed. You know what I mean? So one of the moves, what Jesse loves is we go up a pegboard, right? And then we climb a beam, which basically supports the patio. So the beam, so you have the pegboard, and you go up the beam, and then you have to ring a bell, and you go down the rope, and then you go up the rope, you have to ring the bell, and you go down the beam, you go across the pegboard, and you do maximum pull-ups.
I'm exhausted just listening to it. I mean,
and so, there's 2 kinds of love. Or there's the original, when it comes to exercise and fitness and behavior and nutrition. There's the things that you naturally gravitate to, like I'm a weightlifting guy, or I'm a cardio girl, or I like my Peloton or whatever. There's that kind of thing. And of course you want to have that in your life, right? And then there's the other kind of love, which is the stuff that you suck at, that it's really hard for you and it's frustrating, but you should love the fact that you're doing it because the overall outcome for your general fitness will be 10 times that of anybody who just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. All right. People just want to go for their walks. They just want to go for their runs. They don't want to lift any weights. And so, I mean, I have a different objective than other people. I love the ninja course. I train my legs 3 days a week hard so I can go out there into, where is it? It's out. Where is it? Oh, look, there's the joint out there. And that's where the snow is. Right now it's 12 degrees. That's why I'm glad I'm talking to you guys. It's snowed here in 10 days. So hard on the legs. Don't love legs. Don't love cardio. Don't love plyo. We have a routine on Fridays called balls and boxes, just jumping on plyo boxes. They used to be metal boxes. My shins look like somebody hit me with a hatchet. You know what I mean? Finally got the soft ones. Like, where have those been my whole life? You know what I mean? So now when I run into the plyo boxes, you know what I mean? And that's all stability balls and core. It's rib cage down, right? So I have pretty strong legs 3 days a week. And the other 4 days a week, maybe on the day off, it's upper body stuff. Yoga's head to toe. But and then sometimes, I have a tonal. I'm one of the tonal trainers, and I get on that tonal, and that's resistance. It's not dumbbells, but I have a rack of dumbbells that go from 5 to 75s, and that's enough. And I was in the gym yesterday. I went from body weight to cable to barbells to dumbbells, and I just did a circuit. I would just look around. I went, I'll go do that. Okay, that's chest. Oh, I'll go over there. I'll do that lap pull machine. No, I'll go over there. I'll do 4-ball push-ups. I'll go over there. That's the one thing maybe, Zach, that you're missing, and a lot of people are missing. And it's kind of, 1 or 2 dimensional. And you want to be multi-dimensional when it comes to maybe all aspects of your life.
Yeah, I agree. I actually go to a CrossFit gym just because of, I don't have to think about it when I go into the gym, right? The workout is there. I don't look at the workout, because if I look at the workout and see something I'm weak at, I might skip it. And it covers so many different areas. But yeah, I would totally come and do your course at your house if you ever invited me, because that sounds amazing.
Where do you live, Zach? Where do you live?
I live in New York.
All right. Well, I'm a plane, train, or automobile man. I'm in LA, and I have a view of a forest in the woods above Brentwood, and the whole backyard. I have a gym. I have a regular indoor gym. Number one, I have an area that's a high bar, 20-foot rope and parallel bars, gym number 2. And then I have my pegboard beam, 17-foot rope pull-up bar, gym number 3. And then I have my ninja course, which is gym number 4. And I'm building a platform for number 5, which is all laches. It's just going to be a lache thing where you swing and grab and swing and grab.
Oh my gosh, that sounds fun.
That's awesome.
Tony, thank you so much for all of this time. We really appreciate it. Where can we learn more about you and the Power of 4 and the supplements and all the things?
Well, I appreciate that question very much. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you two young men as well. And hopefully there's been a thing or two in here that not only inspires and motivates you, but all of your listeners. And so that's a good thing. If you want to find just Tony Horton in general, you go to TonyHortonLife.com. That's TonyHortonLife.com. And that's my events and my TH Fitness line, my TH Care hair and skin line, all the things and all my events and all the things that I'm involved with. If you want to know more about Power Life, the supplements, you can go directly to mypowerlife.com. That's mypowerlife.com. And you put in that code Tony30. And if you really want to join the revolution and join the folks at Power Nation, I highly recommend it, man. It's just an amazing 2,500 people went through the beta over 15 months of COVID. And now there's another almost like 2,800 that have signed on, which is really great. We want more, of course. So it's powernationfitness.org. That's Power Nation Fitness. Don't go .com. I think it's a porn site, so be careful.
Or don't be careful if that's what you're into. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get fit, though.
All right, Tony, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right. That was Tony Horton, the creator of the best-selling fitness series P90X, and more recently, The Power of 4. You can find all of those links he mentioned in the show notes for this episode at thefitmess.com. And Jeremy, I just want to throw this out there. And Tony, if you're still listening, I basically heard him say that I could go to his house whenever I wanted. So
yeah, I think you can just show up, just knock on the door anytime.
Yeah. No, I think I'm going to try that. Yeah, I should do that.
I'm sure that'll go well. Let me know how that works out for you.
Well, if the course doesn't kill me, I suspect I won't make it out of there anyway.
Yeah, so. I think that may be right. That may be true. All right. A ton of great takeaways in that interview. I hope you got as much out of that as we did. That was a big deal for us. We're very excited to have had that opportunity. But just remember, if whatever you've done up until now, it hasn't worked, do something else. Almost anything will be better because you know the results of what you've done. And you also know the results of not doing anything. So just try something else. But as Zach mentioned earlier, definitely worth getting a coach for something like this because you want to make sure that you know what you're doing, that you have a plan and you have some accountability.
So we both know that I move a lot. Like I go to the gym, I go to yoga, I do a whole bunch of stuff, and I have a plan and I know what times I'm going and I know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll find out when I get there. But last week I had a little bit of a change in my schedule. I had to go into the office for work, which is down in the city. So I stayed there for a few days and I didn't plan. I didn't find a yoga studio. I didn't find a gym. I didn't carve the time out to go work out. So guess what I did? I got to the office at 7:30 and then I left the office at 8 or 9 at night. I ate something and immediately went to bed. Just 3 days of that. 3 days of that. My neck pain came back. My body just had no part of it. It was terrible. So again, consistency here is really important. And if you're going to take a break or you have to go do something, really just try and figure out another way to get that movement in.
It's just going to help you go so much further in this process. And again, he likes to say all the time, I know this because I've been doing his workouts every day. Aging is for people that don't know better. And he is living proof. The dude is skiing down mountains, running ninja courses in his backyard. He's 63 years old and still as active as ever because he takes care of his body. This is something that I'm just, again, learning over and over again. And so I can't stress enough how important it is for you to do whatever you can to make sure you're taking care of your body.
And if you're still not sure where you want to start, you don't have to do any of this alone. You can connect with your friends with similar goals, hold each other accountable. Also, we have a Facebook group where you can come in, join the community, and we can help point you in the right direction if you need it.
There, you're going to find monthly challenges, accountability from fellow group members, and also just a really supportive community. So I hope you'll join us there. The link for that is on our website, thefitmess.com, where we will be back next week with a brand new episode. Thanks for listening.
See you, everyone.
We know this podcast is amazing and doesn't seem to lack anything, but we need a legal disclaimer. Prior to implementing anything discussed in this podcast, it is your responsibility to conduct your own research and consult your physician. You should assume that Jeremy and Zach don't know what they're talking about, and they're not liable for any physical or emotional issues that occur directly or indirectly from listening to this podcast.